Tontan, South Wales' leading home rental sunbed company, offer the very latest in tanning technology. With something to suit everyone's needs, you can tan at home anytime at your own leisure. For information on special offers and sales, visit the website www.tontan.com.
Remember, you don't have to go to town to go brown.
Call Tontan today on 01443 675 556.
Right, today we've been having a meeting about the supporters trust that we're trying to form at Cardiff City Football Club. There was over 20 people turned up at the meeting, and they've all voted positively to take it forward. Lucky enough, Geraint turned up as well, came from the Welsh Cooperative. Geraint?
Well, some would say Lecco.
How do you think the meeting went?
I think it was very positive, to be honest with you, because everybody there seemed totally supportive of the idea, and having been inspired by other supporters trusts that have been set up throughout the whole of Britain, suddenly the opportunities are available for the city in actually developing a trust.
Okay, what do you think the benefits of a trust would be to Cardiff City Football Club?
For the club itself, or
for the supporters?
Well, for the supporters directly, obviously there'll be access to information, it'll be influence in decision making, and representation on the board, so they're part of the parcel of the process of actually making decisions for the club.
All right, so you think it's a good thing for the club and for the supporters? Or?
Totally.
Yeah?
I think it's a two-way process, because obviously the club will then get a dialogue with the fans directly, but not just as a token dialogue, as a practical experience from themselves of how they should actually develop the support for the city.
Oh, fair enough. So eventually then, you think if we could raise enough funds and get enough membership, we may be in the future be able to get somebody on the board and start having some influence on the board of directors, because they make decisions, you know, on behalf of the fans, vote the fans, having any sort of say whatsoever. We'd feel helpless, you know. So perhaps if we could build the fund up or build the trust up, it might take a long time, but it might be the step in the right direction.
Oh, I'd encourage everybody to get involved in the trust in order to do that, because obviously it's not just the decision. We don't know why the decisions are made. Often we find out the decision, whether we agree with it or not, has been made, but we don't know why it's actually happened, which is equally important. For every supporter, there's a chance of working together to purchase a shareholding within the club which guarantees them a right to sit on the board and a voice, and that's got to be good.
Okay, thank you, Geraint. Right, I got Matthew with me now. Matthew Garvey came all the way down from London yesterday for the match, and he's stayed on today, to be fair, now to help us today with the meeting. We talked about having another meeting now between a few of the supporters to prepare ourselves ready for an open meeting we're going to have later on, early next year, sometime in January or February.
Yep.
So what are we going to try and achieve in these few meetings before the open meeting, Matthew?
Well, our next meeting's on the is going to be on the 8th of December, which is the home game against Colchester. We're going to try and that meeting there is going to be one for people to turn up who can really do something towards organising our open meeting and make sure it happens, and it happens properly with the right people there and the right publicity goes into it, and we make sure that when the meeting happens, it's a positive thing, and everybody knows about it. Everybody turns up, and we get everything off with a bang. We launch it properly. We get our members in there early, and everybody knows about it.
Okay, so what we're trying to say is we've got some sort of working group now between now and the next open meeting, which could be January, February, March, whenever we are ready and properly ready to launch it. We'll have some sort of working group set up before then, and that will take it forward and take it to the next stage, really, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it's the case that everybody who turned up today was here because they were positive, they wanted to help out, they wanted to do something, and the next meeting is really going to be about making sure these things happen and allocating roles, allocating things to people, making sure there's doers there rather than people who can sit there and listen. It's got to happen and start happening now.
We've left the meeting more or less. Now me and Kerry's still here. Kerry used to work at the club, funny enough, a while back, as a secretary of Cardiff City Football Club, so a lot of people will know Kerry. Kerry very graciously came along and offered his support today, along with so many other people who got some influence in professional jobs, you know, and we appreciate that, Kerry. We didn't realise who was in the room, I don't suppose.
No, I don't think people realise the amount of expertise there is in the football crowd, you know. Financial, IT, you name it, it's available there, and I think everybody else has touched on it, but the idea of a supporters trust is to channel that into an organisation where we can get some influence and a voice at the club itself.
That's good, and I've also had a lot of apologies today of some people, like a couple who work in banks and some work in financial institutions, some people work in administration, and they've all offered their support to us and help, you know. I mean, people like myself can only take us so far with enthusiasm, but at the end of the day you need the people in professional jobs really to take it that step forward, because they're going to represent all the fans, you know, and we want the best people for the right jobs, don't we, really, in the end.
Well, I think you need to take a lot of credit yourself for getting this off the ground straight away, because it's supporters who are what they are. Yeah, I agree. You probably need a little bit more professional people involved to actually take that structure on. But it's about every supporter, and the idea of a trust is every supporter's got a voice within that organisation. And
that's what it's all about. So, tomorrow, if somebody wanted to put £100,000 into it, or 1 pence, we'll all have one equal share, and everybody be equal in the trust. We'll all have one hand to put up and vote. So there's nobody there. There's no inner circle scenario. It's always going to be done democratically. You put a board of directors on, our own board of directors or trustees, whatever you want to call them. We vote them on. If we don't like it, we vote them off. I mean, we all got equal shares in it. We build up a fund then, and if the worst scenario happened and the club went bust, which I pray to God it doesn't, perhaps the trust then could pick that up off the floor. I hope we don't go down that way, but that's one possibility.
Well, the thing is, with the trust, it can do a load of things. I mean, hopefully we don't go down that road, but initially what we want to try and do is get some influence and get some more transparency, as the club tries to say, but actually get it back to the supporters. A lot of supporters' trusts have saved the club and rescued the club. There's I think there's 14 clubs that are actually owned by trusts, Notts County being one example. There's a lot of opportunity there to do things, and actually have a lot to say. There's been a lot of supporters clubs, various different groups, but I think with a trust it is more of a organised body, and we'll can have more influence on it.
And it's a good thing because everybody can join, even the children. We can have a junior section up to 16 because they're not allowed to vote by law, but they can join as well, and I think the whole community can join, and we need to fetch Cardiff City back to the communities. The communities of Cardiff should support the football club, and the club should support the communities. The Valleys, Newport, Bridgend, we've got a big catchment area, and I think the club needs to get back out into the community and make the fans want to attend the ground, and I think the trust can help in that as well,
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the initial aim everybody's talking about at the moment is having some say with the running of the football club. But it's also community-based. It's a charitable organisation. There's so much you can do, and it depends how well supported it is and what funds can be generated. Hopefully, it's a great success, and you can build on. You can start with a few small items to start the ball rolling, but there's no limit to what you can do with it.